Want to play good volleyball? Do you want to play like professional players? Then you need excellent volleyball technique, great conditioning, understand tactical preparation and many other things. And for all this, you should know what numbers, ratios and chances to score points you have. I show you everything with examples of how the best players from Italian Serie A1 attack, block, serve and receive. And I also compare Japanese superstar Yuki Ishikawa, who had a great season in Milano. When I played professional volleyball, coaches gave us tactical advice before every match on how to play, but I and most of the players were more interested in the stats after the match anyway. I was interested in how I played on attack, how I served, what about my reception, and some players today are literally obsessed with stats and almost 5 seconds after the match is over, they quickly run to statistician to find out their numbers from the match. But what about you? What if you don't play professional volleyball? Well, I have some helpful advice and tips for you on how to think about your performance, what to expect and where you want to go. For example, in tennis, the average player makes 4 errors to score 1 winning hit. Professional tennis players then have a 2-to-1 ratio. In volleyball, it's similar. Average players make more errors than professionals. And I believe you don't want to be average. I believe you want to play almost like professional players. First, let's look at how many times you can actually touch the ball in the set. How many opportunities do you have to play a good action or score a point? Clearly, the most loaded players are the setters, but I couldn't find their stats and the numbers of the sets they played in the match anywhere. That's why I approached Italian coach Andrea Anastasi, with whom I have already done a podcast, and he revealed that on average a setter sets 16 times per set after a reception. Plus he has 8 to 10 sets in longer rallies. So he sets 25 to 30 balls per set in total, plus a few serves. That's why the setter is the brain of all teams. The outsider also play a lot of balls. For example, Alessandro Micheletto averaged 17 touches of the ball per set this season. I should point out that these are touches that can be read from the match stats. They don't include defense, setting and touches of the ball on the block. And if I compare Yuki Ishikawa to him, he had 13 touches of the ball per set. In contrast, for example, blockers get to touch the ball much less. Augustin Loser was in great form, yet he averaged only 7 ball touches per set. Why I'm telling you these general numbers? Because they are important for the next section, in which I will show you what chances you may have to score a point or positive action in each skill. Let's move on to the most significant element of volleyball, the attack. We make dozens of points on attacks, and of course, the better you attack, the better your chances of winning the match. But what does it mean to attack well? Attack is not just about scoring points. Sure, if you have a good set against a single block, then as an outsider or opposite, you should have at least 50% on attack. Meaning every second attack should end with a point to play a good match. But you know, it's not that simple. Often you have to attack against a double or triple block. Sometimes you don't get a set from which you can score a point. Then you also have to not make many mistakes. You don't want your opponent to block you right under your feet. You want to make problems for your opponent with your attack. And how do the best players attack? For a comparison, I chose Kamil Ryklicki, who won the Champions League with Trentino. He played 70 sets in the Italian Serie A1, scored 308 points in total, averaged 4.4 points per set. He had 492 attacks for the season, made 28 attacking errors, was blocked 35 times and scored 260 points in total. His success rate on attack was 54.3%, his error rate was 5%, and he was blocked 7% of the time. What's the takeaway for you? Expect and want to turn every second attack into a point. To play like a professional player, you can make a mistake on attack once in 20 attacks, and you shouldn't be blocked more than once in 10 attacks. And how did Ishikawa play on attack? He had 447 attacks, 30 errors, and was blocked 42 times, and scored 200 points. His success percentage was 45%, less than 7% error rate, and he was blocked 9% of the time. Let's go for the serve. Certainly on serve you can expect to score 40 points per game as a team. Yet serve is a great weapon, and not only professional volleyball players benefit a lot from serve. How do the top players serve? Kamil Semeňuk is excellent at serving and fits perfectly for my comparison. Kamil served 333 serves, scored 33 points from serve, and missed 57 serves. He averaged 0.41 ace per set. His success rate for getting a point of serve was 10%. 70% of his serves ended in an error. What does it mean for you? If you serve and every 10th serve ends in the ace, you are serving very well. You shouldn't miss a serve more than one serve out of 5. And in a 3-set match, if you serve one ace, you have played a good match. And how did Yuki Ishikawa play on serve? Yuki gave 254 serves, made 27 ace. His serve ended in an error 65 times, and he averaged 0.36 serves per set. His success rate was 10.6 and his error rate was 25%. The next skill we'll look at is the block. Again, you can help yourself a lot with the block. You can put a lot of pressure on your opponent, but you won't score as many points as you can by attacking. For example, Argentinian blocker Agustin Loser made 68 blocks in 86 sets in the Italian Serie A1 and was the best blocking player in the entire competition, averaging 0.79 blocks per set. So you too, if you want to play like a professional player, you want to have around 0.5 blocks per set. What about Yuki Ishikawa and his block? Yuki is of course not a specialized blocker. He is not 205 centimeters tall, yet he collected 14 blocks in 75 sets and averaged 0.19 blocks per set. Coming to reception, it directly affects the quality of your team's offense. You know that. And what kind of numbers and ratios should you want on reception? First of all, to our star. That's for me is Alessandro Michieletto. In total, he received 385 serves, making 37 errors, which means a direct error on an ace. 145 serves he passed negatively, 122 serves he passed perfectly. 31.3% of the 385 serves he passed perfectly. In 10% of the reception he made an error, and 38% of the serves he received negatively. What this means for you is that if you receive every third serve perfectly to the net, make no more than 1 error out of 10 on the reception, and receive no more than 4 out of the 10 serves negatively, you are playing very well on reception, just like a professional player. Of course, if you are looking at positive reception, which is always higher and means reception even a little bit away from the net, and they track it in the statistics in the Polish Plus Liga, Michieletto's numbers would be higher. But unfortunately, the stats on Lega Volley don't offer that. And again, Yuki Ishikawa comparison. Did he play better on the reception than Michieletto? Yuki received 306 serves, made 28 errors, 124 negative reception. In total, he received 25% of serves perfectly, had a 9% receiving error rate, and passed 40% of serves negatively. As I mentioned before, it's impossible to look up how well setters set from the available stats from the Italian Serie A1. In fact, no one tracks if the setter has 60% when setting, for example, behind the head after a good reception, because you would need to track many types of sets, and also every player needs a slightly different set. Still, look at the play of the Italian superstar Simone Giannelli, who won the Italian league with Perugia. Giannelli played 76 sets, scored 77 points, averaged 0.37 blocks per set, served 305 serves, had 11 aces and had 33 service errors. And on attack he made 36 points, mostly by attacking by dump. So you can see that Giannelli played very well on the block, hit an ace on serve 4% of the time, and had a 10% error rate on serve. What should you take away from this video? On attack, you want to turn every second attack into a point. You can only make an error on attack once out of 20 attacks maximally, and you shouldn't be blocked more than once out of 10 attacks. If every 10th serve you make ends in an ace, you are serving very well. To do this, you should not make more than 1 error in 5 serves. On block, you want to have around 0.5 blocks per set. Aim to receive every third serve perfectly to the net. Make no more than 1 error out of 10 on serve reception, and receive no more than 4 out of 10 serves negatively. As a setter, you also want to block well, approach 0.5 blocks per set, serve as I mentioned and a moment ago, and try to have the highest attacking efficiency with your attacking players. I hope this video has mainly given you inspiration and a concrete idea of what it means to play good and top volleyball. Sure, you won't immediately be able to meet all the criteria and ratios that top players have, but you can work on them every day. You can try to match the top players every day, and I believe that one day you will play like them. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.